This is a short lecture containing tips on preparing and delivering a keynote introduction speech. In business settings, there are 4 basic types of specialty presentations that you may be called upon to make. The first type is a speech of introduction, in which you introduce another person who will be delivering a keynote speech at an event. This is what your assignment is this time. Other types of specialty presentations include award presentations, acceptance speeches, and after-dinner speeches. Today we're going to talk about speeches to introduce a keynote speaker. Speeches of introduction are usually delivered by a member of the group that will be hearing the speech. And there are 2 primary objectives for this speech of introduction. The first objective is to create a desire among audience members to hear the speaker that's going to be speaking. You want to give the audience enough information that they can think to themselves, this could be interesting. I'd like to listen. The second objective is to prepare your audience members for the topic or issue that the speaker will be addressing. Now here you have to be careful not to steal their thunder, but you do want to give the audience something to be looking forward to that has to do with the topic the speaker will address. Another way to think about these 2 goals is to consider that you want to arouse curiosity in the audience members about the speaker and the subject that they'll be speaking about, and you want to motivate the audience to start off liking and respecting the speaker. Like the speeches of introduction that we talked about earlier, a keynote introduction speech contains 3 main parts. An opening, primarily designed to capture the audience's attention. A body, in which you explain why the topic was chosen, why the speaker is qualified to address it, and why the speaker and topic together are appropriate for this audience and this event. And finally, an introduction speech wraps up with a conclusion that paves the way for the speaker to begin making their remarks. So here are some general tips to keep in mind. Your introduction speech should be relatively brief. The length of that introduction has something to do with the length of time that the main speaker will be speaking. But generally, as a rule of thumb, a speech of introduction should run no more than 5 minutes for a speaker who might be speaking for up to an hour. Second strategy is that it's important for you to verify the speaker's biographical information and the pronunciation of their name ahead of time. Some people have terribly difficult names, and so it's important to be able to practice that pronunciation until you can say it and make it sound natural. Third, be careful not to steal the show. In keeping your remarks brief, you should be certain to focus all of your attention on the speaker so that they have something left to say by the time you're done. Fourth, your introduction speech should not include claims that, for example, the speaker is a particularly brilliant person or very, very successful or even a good speaker. Instead, you should tell the audience about this person and then let them make those kinds of judgments. Let them decide whether they think the speaker is a great speaker. And you can help the audience to make that decision by focusing on their background, the speaker's expertise, as it relates to the subject of the speech and the speaking occasion. When you finish the body of your remarks, it's time to make that transition and invite the speaker onto the platform. So you should end your speech of introduction by restating the speaker's name. So for example, you might, if you were introducing me, say, "Please welcome Dr. Diane Carter." Then you would begin the applause, actually begin clapping to indicate to the audience members that they should follow suit, while also stepping away from the platform. Now, depending on what side of the platform the speaker is standing on, you should move to the opposite side, just slightly back and toward the opposite side, so that the speaker can very easily slide right up to the podium. You should stay near the podium or the center of the platform and wait there until the speaker arrives. Sometimes it's a long walk and you want that applause to stay strong, so you should continue to clap. Once the speaker has actually stepped up to the podium, It's your turn to quietly leave the platform, settle down, and enjoy listening to a great speech.